We are now living under the most dangerous president in perhaps the history of this country. This is a demagogue whose function in life is to serve the oligarchy and to try to divide us up. All of you understand how demagogues function. And Trump is not original. When I was listening to Trump and thinking about Abraham Lincoln, I was thinking that this guy is giving us a government of the billionaire class, by the billionaire class, and for the billionaire class. In America today, if you can believe it, one person, our good friend Mr. Musk, you are familiar with Mr. Musk. One owns more wealth than the bottom 52% of American households. You got that? Can you believe that? I mean, it is to me, now you don't hear that discussed very much, right? I think I'm one of the few people who talk about it. So in the richest country on earth, it doesn't matter how rich we are because of this massive inequality. One guy, more wealth than the bottom 52%, the top 1%, more wealth than the bottom 93%. CEOs today are making 350 times more than the average worker. This is how the system works. Elon Musk, our friend again, contributed $270 million to elect Donald Trump president. And his reward, these guys don't make an investment without asking for something in return. They don't make these donations out of the goodness of their heart. And what he got was the ability to run the United States government for 3 or 4 months and to exercise his extreme right-wing ideology. So what Mr. Musk was able to do at a time when Social Security Administration is understaffed, seniors are having trouble getting information about their benefits, 7,000 Social Security employees were fired. At a time when we are not adequately staffing the Veterans Administration so that the men and women who put their lives on the line to defend us get the health care and benefits they deserve. Musk and his friends wanted to cut 80,000 employees from the Veterans Administration. But it's not just elections. It's important to understand, and I tell you this as a United States Senator, it's not just the power of money in buying elections. That's really bad. They're also involved in the legislative process every day with all of their lobbyists, etc. All right, this is how it works. Trump and the Republican leadership proposed this big, beautiful bill. This so-called big, beautiful bill is, in my view, the most horrific and destructive piece of legislation ever passed in the modern history of this country. What this legislation does, in short, in brief, is make massive cuts to Medicaid, the Affordable Care Act, nutrition and education in order to give $1 trillion in tax breaks to the top 1%. And $900 billion to large, profitable corporations. Now, this is how money in politics works. If you think that many Republicans, especially those who represent low-income and working-class districts, didn't know what was in the bill, you would be mistaken. They knew what was in the bill. And one guy, I don't know if you know his name or not, a guy named Tom Tillis, he's a senator from North Carolina. Tillis is a conservative Republican guy, but he actually did something unusual. He read the bill. This guy reads the bill, and he says, holy moly, hundreds of thousands of people in North Carolina are going to lose their health insurance if I vote for this bill. So he gets up and he says, I cannot vote for this bill. It would be destructive for my constituents. You know what happened? Within minutes, Donald Trump was on social media ripping the hell out of this guy. Billionaires were announcing, you standing up to the president, you don't like the legislation we brought forth, you are out of here. We're going to run somebody against you. And they have the resources to do that. Within a very short time, Senator Tillis says, forget it, I'm not running for re-election. The point is that if people stand up for justice, stand up for what is right, they will be punished by big money interests. And that is a system that we can no longer tolerate, because day after day, Washington becomes further and further removed from the reality of the American working class. Now, as Delia and Robert told you, we are now living under the most dangerous president in perhaps the history of this country. This is a demagogue whose function in life is to serve the oligarchy and to try to divide us up. Now, when Trump was inaugurated, I had the unpleasure of being right in the front row. I somehow got shoved into the front row. Maybe nobody else wanted to go there, so they pushed me there. And I heard this horrific speech. But I want you all to remember, because this is the essence of what Trumpism is about. Seated right behind Donald Trump were the three wealthiest people in this country, Mr. Musk, Mr. Bezos, and Mr. Zuckerberg. Seated right behind them were 13 other billionaires who Trump had nominated to head up major federal agencies. And as I was listening to this rather horrific speech, I really did think. I was thinking about American history, and I was thinking about Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg. And some of you will remember, a few days after that terrible battle, where thousands of Union soldiers died to end the abomination of slavery, President Lincoln goes to the battlefield. People just died a few days before. And he looks out at the assembled crowd, and in so many words, he says, you know, these guys did not die in vain. They died so that we will continue to have a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And when I was listening to Trump and thinking about Abraham Lincoln, I was thinking that this guy is giving us a government of the billionaire class, by the billionaire class, and for the billionaire class. Now, I trust and I know that all of you understand how demagogues function. And Trump is not original. It goes on around the world, and it has gone on historically. The way demagogues succeed is by dividing people up and by scapegoating powerless minorities. All right? That's how it's always been. It's been true in this country. It's true all over the world. Europe, it was Jews and gypsies. In this country, it was gay people, black people, Latino people. Today, it is trans people and the undocumented. So, that's the strategy. I mean, it's a well thought out strategy. So instead of addressing the serious crises facing the country and say, all right, we got a crisis here, we got a crisis here. How do we work together to resolve those crises? What a demagogue like Trump does is say, forget about the healthcare crisis, forget about climate, forget about education, forget about housing. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how we hate this group of people and that group of people. And the antidote to that, which we must bring forth, we must create, is an understanding that if we do not all stand together, we're all going to go down together.